4 o'clock p.m., which was changed to 4:30. At the town hall for the purpose of voting on the resolutions related to the remediation and construction of the wastewater treatment plant that were withdrawn at the regular town board meeting on May 20th, 2015, resolution numbers 75 through 83. By orders of the town board, with the Kennedy town clerk, this was on the website, on the legal board, and the media had been notified.
Okay, we'll start with communications, announcements, and reports. Anyone have anything?
I do.
What is it?
Oh, go ahead. Okay, I just wanted to apologize for any inconvenience this delay might have caused the contractors, but I could not in good conscience vote on any of the May wastewater treatment plant resolutions, not with the way that they were worded and the way that they were written. I needed to know the town was protected from any undue cost. However, after meeting with the contractors and having my questions answered and the rewrites are done on the resolutions, I'm now prepared to pass the new wastewater treatment plant resolutions. That's it.
Thank you. Mary Ann?
Yes, please.
No? Oh.
Yes,
Yes.
please. At the meeting of the town board on May 20th, Supervisor Langley attempted to move 9 resolutions that would have committed the town and its insurance company, NYMER, to paying 100% of the cost for the damages and rework related to restoring the wastewater treatment plant to its condition before the spill. Councilperson DiMartino and I were not able to vote on the resolutions that night, stating that we had too many questions that needed to be answered. In response to our concerns, the supervisor admonished us for being irresponsible for delaying the passage of emergency resolutions that were needed to get the contractors back to work. In his recent supervisor's report, he stated that these resolutions were all available at the pre-board meeting, which is held 1 week prior to the board meeting. However, considering the magnitude of the damages and the financial responsibility to which these resolutions were committing the town, Councilperson DiMartino and I needed and took an additional 13 days to review them for viability. As a result of Q&A meetings with town staff, especially our comptroller and our town attorney, non-town staff who volunteered their time to help us get answers, project consultants, and insurance representatives, we are now able to vote on these resolutions reasonably confident that the town will not be excessively harmed by the spill financially. To explain the delay in getting these resolutions passed, since the spill occurred on March 13th, the supervisor has not called a single meeting with Councilperson DiMartino or me to brief us on the damage that was done to the plant, the work that needs to be done to restore the plant to its condition before the spill, or the task of getting upwards to $1 million in damages paid for by insurance. We were left off of email strings, not provided with copies of critical documents like invoicing and rework proposals and contracts related to the mediation of the spill, and we were not provided with a copy of the pertinent sections of the town's insurance policies that pertain to the coverage of the damages. The plan, I believe, was not to need us to get the resolutions passed. Then on April 22nd, Sue Mangold suddenly announced her resignation effective May 1st. Between May 1st and the pre-board meeting on May 14th and the board meeting on May 20th, Councilperson DiMartino and I still had not been contacted by the supervisor to discuss the resolutions, even with Sue Mangold now gone for 20 days. In Councilperson DiMartino's own words, we combed over the resolutions, but we still had concerns with the way they were written, as we read the same 3 words over and over again in each resolution regarding our insurance coverage: anticipated, intent, indeterminate. It is anticipated that insurance will pay. The intent is that insurance will pay, and any financial impact is indeterminate at this time because we don't know if insurance will pay. As of May 22nd, 2 days after the May 20th board meeting, our insurance claims adjuster was still saying all claims should be covered, not all claims will be covered, which was especially worrisome. While we knew that the contractors had to get back to work, there was the ever-present question of who will pay every single penny comprising nearly $1 million in damages and rework. Therefore, Councilperson DiMartino and I had a duty to the town to step back, slow down, and ask questions. We are disappointed that at the May 20th board meeting, the supervisor practically demanded far less of us and required nothing more than the premature approval of unsettled resolutions. On June 1, we received an email from our insurance company's claims adjuster advising us that payment in the amount of $583,000 was in the mail. Whether certain soft costs will be covered and the full cost of the cleanup is as yet undetermined. However, the majority of the costs related to the spill will in fact be covered by insurance, and the comptroller's attestations in the resolutions now state that fact, whereas before they did not. In conclusion, since we are reasonably sure that the town's maximum financial exposure for the spill is known, and since we have also been reasonably assured by the comptroller that the town should be able to handle its presently presumed exposure for the spill without the need for borrowing, we are now ready to vote responsibly on these resolutions. Thank you.
Phil, do you have anything?
Not this time, Mr. Supervisor.
Thank you. I'm going to open up the public privilege portion. Is there anyone who would like to speak? No? Okay, let's get to the resolutions then.
One of the things, before we get into that, I sent an email to the town board just in terms of process here, and I know it's been the practice to read all the resolutions through, and what I had suggested was that before the vote, you could just read the caption on the resolution or the title of the resolution, because most of these things have been seen or they're publicly posted and people have full copies of them. I know Mary Ann had some concerns that people wouldn't know, or she expressed some concerns that people might not know what was in the resolutions, but I do think that's the more common way of proceeding, and it's just my suggestion of how you might proceed.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would posture Dave's point here. Every body I've ever seen, we're the most extensive reading body, and back when I was in the majority, we stopped doing that as well. And everybody has it in front of them. They want to read it.
All right, then with that, let's proceed accordingly. 86-2015, a resolution authorizing a contract amendment to the wastewater treatment plant contract number 1, general construction change order number 2. I'd like to make the foregoing resolution. May I have a second, please?
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Is there any discussion on this resolution? Excuse me. Supervisor Langley?
Yes.
Councilperson Malone?
Yes.
Councilperson DiMartino?
Yes.
And Councilperson Matters?
Yes.
87-2015, a resolution to approve the amendment to the contract via change orders requesting additional 151 days be added to Phase 2 of the wastewater treatment plant project. I'd like to move the foregoing resolution. May I have a second, please?
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Is there any discussion on this resolution? Supervisor Langley?
Yes.
Councilperson Malone?
Yes.
Councilperson DiMartino?
Yes.
And Councilperson Matters?
Yes.
88-2015, a resolution authorizing the contract with Delaware Engineering for professional engineering services to provide engineering services and support for damage associated with the sludge spill. I'd like to move the foregoing resolution. May I have a second, please?
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Any discussion on this resolution? Supervisor Langley?
Yes.
Councilperson Malone?
Yes.
Councilperson DiMartino?
Yes.
And Councilperson Matters?
Yes.
That was yours, Phil.
Resolution authorizing the contract with Chase & Company's engineering for professional engineering services to provide engineering services and support for damage associated with the sludge spill. I move the foregoing resolution. Do I have a second, please?
I'll second that.
Any discussion on this resolution? Councilperson Malone?
Yes.
Supervisor Langley?
Yes.
Councilperson DiMartino?
Yes.
And Councilperson Matters?
Yes.
90-2015, resolution approving UW Marks' proposal to complete rework at the wastewater treatment plant due to sludge spill and authorizing the supervisor to execute documents necessary for the work and approve the payments for said work. I'd like to move the foregoing resolution. May I have a second, please?
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Any discussion on this resolution? Supervisor Langley?
Yes.
Councilman Malone?
Yes.
Councilman DeMartino?
Yes.
And Councilman Matters?
Yes.
91-2015, a resolution approving Stilson Electric proposal to complete rework at the wastewater treatment plant due to the sludge spill, and authorizing the supervisor to execute documents necessary for the work and to approve payment for said work. I move the foregoing resolution. Do I have a second, please?
I'll second that.
Any discussion on this resolution? Councilman Malone?
Yes.
Supervisor Langley?
Yes.
Councilman DeMartino?
Yes.
And Councilman Matters?
Yes.
Yeah, 92-2015, a resolution approving family dam proposal to rework at the wastewater treatment plant due to the sludge spill, and authorizing the supervisor to execute documents necessary for the work and to approve payment for said work. I'd like to move the foregoing resolution. I have a second, please.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Any discussion on this resolution? Supervisor Langley?
Yes.
Councilman Malone?
Yes.
Councilman DeMartino?
Yes.
Councilman Matters?
Yes.
A resolution approval for Andrew Construction Ltd. payment for work completed as a result of the sludge spill at the wastewater treatment plant. I move the foregoing resolution. Do I have a second, please?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion on this resolution? Councilman Malone?
Yes.
Supervisor Langley?
Yes.
Councilman DeMartino?
Yes.
And Councilman Matters?
Yes.
94-2015, authorizing technical services change order for construction services contract extension to the November 25th, 2015 at East Greenbush wastewater treatment upgrade project. I'd like to move the foregoing resolution. Have a second, please.
I'll second that.
Any discussion on this resolution? Supervisor Langley?
Yes.
Councilman Malone?
Yes.
Councilman DeMartino?
Yes.
And Councilman Matters?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Have a second?
Seconded.
Supervisor Langley?
Yes.
Councilman Matters?
Yes.
Councilman DeMartino?
Yes.
Councilman Malone?
Yes.
Thank you.